Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to another episode review for The Boys Season 4. Today I am reviewing episode 5. I can't wait to get into this episode. It was so crazy, so many things going on. But first of all, I want to thank those of you who are subscribed to the channel for coming back and checking out another episode of The Boys with me. Thank you so much. I can't wait to get into it. Okay, so wow, what an insane episode. I'm just going to kind of go section by section. I feel like there was like 3 major things really going on in this episode, so I apologize if it's not that organized, but it's just kind of whatever's coming to my mind. But let's start off with what The Boys was parodying in this episode, which was so funny. You know, The Boys tends to make fun of and poke a lot of fun at Disney, and I think that's so funny. It's one of the reasons why I love this show, because I love Disney too, but I also love when they make fun of Disney. Now, you know, Disney has this convention called D23, right? D23 Expo, which is actually happening this summer, and I'm a little bitter because I didn't get tickets this year. So I actually love that The Boys was poking fun at this even more. So they had their own D23 and The Boys this episode called V52, I think so. I think that's what it was. And, you know, they did the whole funny thing, you know, making fun of when Kevin Feige comes out and announces the next phases of the MCU. They were doing that, and they had all the craziest movies. You know, A-Train had his own multiverse movie, I think, which I'm really excited about. And, all these shows, it was just so hilarious. I mean, the fact that they went in so hard on Marvel. Oh my God, I mean, I love Marvel too, you know, I love all of these things, but it's just funny that they, you know, The Boys is so, very open about, hey, we're going to make fun of this because, you know, it is kind of funny, right? I mean, oh my God, that was just so funny. And then in this episode, we had Sam and Kate from Gen V make their appearance here at this expo, and they were also in a scene later on with Homelander and the rest of the 7, which it was so exciting to see them. Of course, you know, if you've seen Gen V, you know how that season ended with, you know, Sam and Kate, you know, raining terror all over Godolphin, but it all got framed on poor Marie, right? Homelander's like, what did you do? And, you know, he made Sam and Kate the heroes of Godolphin, which was crazy. So, you know, we kind of saw a little bit of them at the end of the episode, which we'll get into later. So that whole expo bit was totally hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know what Kevin Feige and everyone at Marvel thought of it. I'm sure, you know, I think we can all have a good laugh, you know? So anyways, I thought that was funny. That may have been the funniest part of this episode, guys, with a few other things, because my gosh, this episode was hard to watch. So, God. Let's get into some of the more lighter stuff before we get into the heavier stuff, right? So Butcher and the group, Butcher tells them in this episode about the virus that can take out all the soups, right, that was being cooked up at Godolphin. Okay, and, you know, Starlight and Kimiko are like, wait a second, you know what, you know, because they are soups, you know, so they're like, you know, what do you mean, you know, that's kind of extreme. So then the part that I was not expecting, which I was probably the thing I was most excited about in this episode, is they go and they bust out Stan Edgar, Giancarlo Esposito, my man who is an icon, a legend. He's literally in everything. He's going to be in Maxine coming out tomorrow, which I'm so excited. I love that man so much. So I was so excited to see him be brought back into this episode. I really missed his character. That guy is such a great actor, and I'm so glad they brought him back. They take Stan Edgar and they go to his safe house, which is at his like farm estate, and they go and they find out that, you know, Samir has been, you know, playing around with the Compound V on these farm animals, and these farm animals have lost their damn minds. They are going crazy. There's so much violence, things I can't even show you right now, but it was so crazy and funny. It was totally great. I think one of the funniest moments this season. It's just a farm of horrors, you know, literally a horror movie. And it was just crazy. Yeah. It was just a nuts scene. Victoria Newman has such, you know, she's really, I think, been one of the best characters this season. You know, she has this really cool entrance where she comes and surprises them at the farm because she knows Stan Edgar got out, and their noses start bleeding, and she makes her really just amazing entrance. Oh, she's so good. And it was just so great. Like that whole farm scene and everything is so chaotic and everything. It was just so great. I loved seeing, them with all the snow and everything. It was just really cool. Like, I really enjoyed that. It was so chaotic and so funny and good. But yeah, Butcher's all after that, the virus, right? That could take out the soups. And, I think, they're all feeling some kind of way about that. The soups, right? I don't know. We're going to have to see how that goes. And, at the end of the episode, not to just like rush things, but I'm going to get into some other stuff. But, Butcher actually kidnaps Samir because he wants him to help out with the soup virus, right? So we'll see where that goes. I'm really excited to see what happens with that because, man, that is going to be some crazy stuff. Oh my God. The drama, right? Okay, let's get into, I guess, the more meat of this episode. The stuff going on with Huey and his dad. Oh my God, this was so sad. All right. Now, obviously, I forgot. You guys know this is a recap. Spoilers. I already spoiled enough, but spoilers, okay? So, remember when Huey asked A-Train to get him the Compound V, right, to save his dad? So, Huey decides, makes the right decision. It's like, okay, I'm not going to give this to my dad anymore. It's going to have really bad side effects. So, he just kind of goes on his way. Huey's mom, decides to give it to him. Oh, God, it was heartbreaking. So, Compound V is injected into Huey's dad. And he goes wild. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's kind of experiencing some amnesia. He is just tearing people apart in the hospital, taking staffers out. It is so gory. It was crazy and very sad to watch. Very sad that he's now done this horrible stuff because of the Compound V that Huey didn't want to give him at last minute. But the mom, and I understand, she was, didn't want to lose her husband, but, look what it did to him. And eventually, they decide that it's better for the dad to pass on. Then, he's now probably going to be in prison or whatever, right? Because he took out all those innocent people because of the Compound, which is so sad, right? Like that Huey is now going to, first, this is so sad for Huey that he had to live with one parent. His mom stepped away when he was younger, left, and now his dad is gone because the mom decided to give him the Compound V. Oh my gosh, this is so horrible. I got to tell you something here. While obviously this is a TV show, the dramatics of it all make for, just really hard storytelling. And, for Huey, one of the most innocent, just precious characters on the show who has been through so much. Now he's going to be going through even more stuff. I mean, this is actually pretty crushing to watch. I feel like he's being hit the hardest out of anyone in the show. I don't know why. But it's I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really hard to watch. It's hard to watch Huey go through so much where he didn't have his mom when he's a kid, and now he's lost a dad in this awful way when he made the decision not to give his dad the Compound V, and then the mom now who's just decided to come back into his life now is like, okay. And I don't know if there was any was there some sinister motivation behind that? I don't know. But it was actually really, now that, I think, watching the episode, I was like, this is actually really hard to watch. But now I'm just like, this is too much to put on Huey, I feel. Storyline-wise, and by the way, Jack Quaid, Simon Pegg, all of them gave such stunning performances. But I'm just like, dang, why do I feel like the writers just ganged up on Huey, And another thing, on that note, I haven't been critical of anything this season, really anything in the show. I've only started reviewing season 4. My channel is super new. But I've loved everything this season so far. I've been saying it's actually, maybe my favorite, but, time will tell by the end of the, we have 3 more episodes left of how I still feel about that. But I really miss Huey being with the rest of the boys, with Butcher and everyone, Starlight's there now, his girlfriend's there. Sometimes I even forget that him and Starlight are together because they really have not been together this season, other than when, Huey found out that Firecracker, told about Starlight's personal information. He was like, oh my gosh, I thought that wasn't going to get out. And I really feel like that, in my personal opinion, has kind of been one of the downsides of this season, is not seeing Huey's only, I get it, his dad's in the hospital. We've only seen him in the hospital. Literally, he has not left that hospital. But I'm just like, I don't know. We have 3 more episodes left, I think. And I'm just like, I don't know. Obviously, Huey's going to be in such a bad state. He's lost his dad. And how is he going to forget? The mom gave him the Compound V. This is going to be awful for him. And I just feel like, with one season left, I mean, maybe this is gonna make Huey turn into some, like, soup. I don't know. Maybe, like, he's gonna go extra harder now against the soups, or I don't know what's gonna happen. Is he gonna have his villain origin story now? I don't know. He's gonna have his Joker story. I have no clue. But, I've really been, that's my own downside, is that while I think this was a crazy, sad, but also fantastic storyline with his dad, I miss seeing Huey with the boys. Because that was the show, in my opinion. And I feel like that element feels off this season of not seeing Huey. That'd probably be one of my downsides of this season. Personally, I miss seeing Huey with the boys. I feel like that element feels a bit lost. And I don't know if they'll be able to really do much with this, since, like I said, Huey's character is, like, tortured now. I don't know that he'll ever be the same Huey again. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And of course, one more season left. But that part kind of makes me sad. I feel like this season has actually been super sad. I don't know how I feel about that anymore. I still love this season, amazing performances, but it's just very sad. It's very sad. But okay, so that was the Huey stuff, and I just, briefly, there was not too much Homelander stuff going on, even though I think he had a really funny moment with Ryan, where they were kind of bonding over, Ryan mentioned to Homelander, like, yes, I want to save the world, I want to help people, that's what I want to do, and then Homelander, of course, had to twist that into a little bit more of a, I would say, like, kind of sort of evil thing, where they're going after that one director guy, because he was being very weird with his assistant, or one of the PAs, and, he tells Ryan, hey, you want to make him pay for what he's doing. So I actually really liked that scene. I thought that was a great Ryan Homelander scene. Probably one of my favorites so far. So I really liked that. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, Homelander gathers the 7 because, oh yeah, I should have mentioned that back at the V-52 Expo, A-Train was kind of freaking out that, Sister Sage is looking for the leak, right? Who leaked about the Starlight protesters. And he's telling Ashley, like, you got to help me, we're in this together. And so Ashley has this kind of little bit of a run-in with Cameron Coleman. They had a thing together. And he's like, well, I'm not really, like, into you anymore because you're not really dominant here. You're not really running the show. And so Ashley, rightfully so, got pissed about that. And she decides to frame Cameron and says that he's the leak behind the Starlight protester stuff. So Homelander, gathers the 7, says that he's the leak. And he also makes a speech saying how they're not going to be celebrities anymore. They're going to be wrathful gods. And yeah, they start to do some crazy stuff to Cameron, right? Crazy episode. Emotions all over the place. Like I said, it wasn't a bad episode by any means. Like, I really enjoyed the performances, but it's just the tone kind of feels off. And the season goes from being very emotionally sad to, like, crazy stuff going on, and, like, I don't know, and maybe The Boys has always been, but I just feel like this season in particular has been so sad that I don't know how to feel about that, and I just wish, I understand that obviously characters are going to die, things are going to happen, but I'm like, I miss Huey with The Boys, and the tone feels a bit off, so I kind of hope that for these next 3 episodes, maybe that changes, and, maybe in season 5, it'll have a good finish to what we know, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying it's bad. I still really love season 4. I think it's great. I think some really great stuff has come out of it, and yeah, I'm excited to see where these last few episodes go, but I'd love to know your thoughts. What did you think of this episode of The Boys, and what did you think of this season so far? I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, and yeah, I look forward to reviewing the rest of season 4 with you guys. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here, and can't wait to see you guys in my next video. I'll talk to you guys really soon. Take care, everyone.